Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with another stock market investment video. And what we're going to be talking about today, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of chatter around a second stock market crash. You should be no stranger to the fact that the numbers are rising with the virus, and things are not getting better. They're actually getting far and far worse. What we have to talk about is going to be Chicago and New York shutting down. New York shutting down schools, Chicago saying that Thanksgiving's canceled, and the mayor of New York has even said you will see a tremendous spike in cases after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's a time when people come together, and 2 to 3 weeks after Thanksgiving, we can see a huge spike, the governor of New York went on saying. And he actually brought up Canada, saying that the cases spiked in October after Canada's Thanksgiving. So this is just going to be a quick video. Let's just get right into it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe on YouTube if you're not yet. If you don't see that subscribed and it just says subscribe, go ahead and click it and make sure you're subscribed so you get these videos right away. Now, researchers are also arguing that it's going to take a long time to get the vaccine out nationwide and worldwide to everyone. Also, Manhattan is laying off 9,000 service workers, and this could be happening in a lot of other big cities as well in the future. Remember, this is just the beginning. A lot of things have not even shut down yet, and it seems like they're taking it slowly. They're like in phase 1, they're shutting down gyms. Next, it might be restaurants and malls. So I do feel as if this is just the beginning. One thing to note is that under Trump is still president until January, we probably won't see a nationwide lockdown, which is always a good thing. But obviously, we're seeing citywide lockdowns. We're seeing statewide lockdowns, which is pretty much just as bad. And states are slowly putting lockdown restrictions into place. So it's not like we're just in full lockdown mode and scaring everyone. It seems like that we're slowly locking down to kind of ease our way into it as numbers are not getting any better. Remember when this first happened too, they said during the winter and the colder time, we're going to see a surge in cases, and it's going to be getting worse here too. Another thing to note is that U.S. passes 250,000 deaths. So I remember when people were printing out newspapers and doing a big deal about 100,000 deaths from the cases. And right now we're at 250,000 deaths total. And keep in mind, 50,000 of those cases are just in the last 60 days. So it's a lot worse than it's ever been. In the last 60 days, we have 50,000 deaths, new deaths. We have rising hospital numbers. We have rising deaths. And I'm not here to scare you and say pull all your money out of the stock market. I'm not pulling my money out, keep in mind, because what have we been seeing? The stock market rallying. So unless you want to, miss out on these gains that everyone's been having in the last month or week, pull out of the stock market if you want. I wouldn't suggest it. I already pulled out like 10 to 20% when we had those huge highs that we had. I might consider pulling out like 10% of my money like today or tomorrow. But no way I'm going to be pulling out 100% of my money. That's just asking for a shot in the foot. Like I always say, don't try to time the market. Just continue to buy the market consistently, because what do we see? It always goes back up. Things are way up since then. So even if you bought at an all-time high, we're always seeing new all-time highs all the time. It's all about just staying and holding. With the stock market, people get afraid and there's a lot of fear in the market. So when people start pulling out, that's when a lot of people start losing money. I don't pull out. So just keep in mind, you don't want to pull out of everything you have. Maybe consider selling 20 to 10% if you haven't yet, and you want to take some gains on some positions that you're up over 20 to 30% on. Yeah, you want to consider selling 20% of those positions that you already have some gains in. But as far as your new positions, hold those out. But you might want to consider just pulling back on your spending a little bit. Stash some cash. I always say right now, be cash heavy. That's the number one piece of advice I can give you right now. Just be cash heavy. That's it. Just maybe pull back on your spending a little bit so you have some cash built up to put in if the numbers do dip down, then you can average it down. Also, what we'll be talking about if we do see an actual crash and we see things starting to go down is how to leverage your money with puts. So that's why there's option puts, and that's the main time I like to do option puts, is on some positions that are going down that I'm really comfortable with, I'll run some put options on them and make my money back that way. So as long as you know what you're doing and you have an experienced investor on your side, you can always make some money even in the crash. And another thing I want to note is economists are saying that Canada actually ordered 10 doses of the vaccine for every single person in their country. So remember, there is good news. You guys have seen the news. We have a lot of different companies coming out with vaccines with over a 95% efficiency rate. Now, some people are a little bit scared, saying that some countries are like hoarding the virus and there's not going to be enough to go around, but I don't really believe in any of that. What you'll also see, other than US and Canada, you'll also see Germany is protesting the lockdown restrictions. There's a lot of lockdowns across all of Europe right now, but specifically in Germany, we're actually seeing protesting against the lockdown restrictions and police coming in with riot gear too. Now, to bring some light to the situation and shed some good light on it, the stimulus is coming. Everyone's on board. I've been watching the news on the stimulus pretty closely. Everyone's on board, guys. The stimulus is coming, and every time that happens, it spikes the stock market so high. So it doesn't even matter if we have a lockdown, because if we get a stimulus, that's going to pump so much money into the stock market, and everyone's going to be spending like crazy, especially during the holidays. Now, there is a possible talks of when Biden comes into office in January, there could be a full lockdown to try to get the virus under control a little bit more for 4 to 6 weeks. But he says that it will be 100% paid for everyone. And if you guys don't know, if you guys aren't experiencing it firsthand, we do have a lot of people that are behind on mortgages and rent right now that are just waiting for the stimulus. Now, some other good news to look at is unemployment is improving. Right now, it's below 7%. And at one point in March or February, somewhere in that time frame, it was at 32% at one point, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think it's ever been that high in America before. Just today, we did get some bad news that a lot more people are filing for unemployment. And some other good news too, we have vaccines coming. Pfizer and Moderna both approved 95% efficiency rates, and it's just going to take a little bit of time. And you can buy these stocks right now. I was actually thinking about making a full video on just the vaccine stocks. And there's a lot more other companies coming as well. I think there's a new one that was announced today as well. But the big thing is we still need FDA approval of these vaccines, and the distribution of the vaccines as well is very vital. The fact of the matter, though, is that people believe in the economy, people believe in the stock market, people believe in America for a long term. That's why people keep investing in the stock market right now, and that's why the numbers keep going up. There's no other way around it. The numbers are going up because people are pouring money into the stock market right now. So keep in mind, you're not the only people that are investing in the stock market. There's a lot of people right now, and that's basically what's rallying the market up and rallying individual stocks up too. Like NEO is just being flooded with money right now. But bear in mind, the stock market is like an emotional little toddler. It's a little child, and as soon as there's a little bit of news about something, it doesn't matter what it is, good or bad, it reacts very emotionally. So yeah, if there's some bad news that comes out, we might see a week where it goes down, but that's good for me. Honestly, I love when that goes down because then I just pour money into the stock market. Right now, you'll actually see I'm very cash heavy. I have over $10,000 that I need to put in the stock market. So I'm pretty much anticipating that it will be going down at least, when I see my profile back at like 9,000 or 8,000, that's the time I'm going to be investing a lot more heavily. Remember, the stock market just doesn't go up in a straight line. It's like a roller coaster, so it's bound to go down sometime. The best advice I can give you right now is keep a list of 10 stocks, your top 10 favorite stocks that you want to focus on, and buy those. I have people that message me different stocks every single day, and you really need to focus on 10 of your favorite because there's a lot of different stocks in the stock market. There's over thousands and thousands of them, but it's all about getting a deal. Focusing on the ones that are a deal today and not a deal a month ago or a week ago or 2 days ago. You want to find the best thing to focus on right now. So every single person that watching this video should have a watch list of some kind, whether it's 30 stocks, 20 stocks, but maybe make a new one and try to narrow down to your top 5 to 10 stocks. That's a really good piece of advice that I want you guys to take away right now. And other than that, I do want to talk about a few last things in the video, which is going to be crypto and gold can definitely be worth a look right now, especially if we see a second stimulus that's passed, because if we see that second stimulus, it's really going to dilute the dollar. In one of my last videos, I talked about how 20% of the money that's in circulation right now was put into circulation in the last year. So in the last 1 year, 20% of all the money in circulation in the US was put this year. So that means the money's going to be diluted, the dollar is going to be diluted, especially if we see a second stimulus. And that's why we've seen a big run up on Bitcoin, is because people are realizing this, bigger companies are realizing this. You're starting to see like banks backing up Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, is because the dollar's really going to get diluted, especially in the next 24 months, 12 to 24 months. So now's the time it's worth a look. You might want to look into it. I would personally look more into Litecoin, up 13% today. In my video I released yesterday, I think you guys all saw it, I talked about how it's not even to its 2019 high yet at 137, let alone its 2017 high of $300. It's at $82 right now. It's up 13% today. Where if you compare it to Bitcoin, and remember, Litecoin is like the silver to Bitcoin's gold. So it's still a very, very big coin. And if you look at Bitcoin, they already passed the 2019 high of $10,000 a long time ago. And they're on the way. They're basically at the 2017 high of $19,000. They're at basically 18 right now. And Litecoin follows Bitcoin very closely. It's a known fact. And remember, it's not even at its 2020 high. It's not even at its 2019 high, let alone its 2017 high of $300. So I think in the next 6 months, we can see Bitcoin at least at $120 to $300 per coin. Personally, for me, I'm in pretty heavy on crypto already. You can see I have about $1,000 in. We're up 70% on Litecoin. But I'm going to be waiting for a little bit of a pullback. So if I see Litecoin back at $65, I have to buy. If I even see it at $70, I'm going to have to buy. You know, there's no way around it. So people have been on top of this for the last few months. They know the dollar is getting diluted. They're hopping in gold and crypto. So in my opinion, you definitely want to wait for some dips, especially on Bitcoin. It's near a 2017 high. I don't want you guys to be scared or pulling out of the stock market, because remember, that's how you lose money. The best thing you can do is buy and hold for long term. It always goes up in the long term over the course of a year, 2 years, 5 years. That's why you really want to switch your mindset to long-term investing, because the stock market is known to be unpredictable in the short term, and it's known to go up in the long term. So why would you be a short-term day trader if it's known to be very unpredictable in the short term and almost impossible to predict short term? You're leveraging yourself to being a winning investor if you switch your mindset to long term, because it favors long-term investors, because fact is it goes up over the long term and it's unpredictable over the short term. So guys, leave a like on the video. I hope it did help you guys out, give you a little bit of a perspective. Focus on 10 different stocks. Be cash heavy right now. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps me out when you hit a thumbs up, because it shows the algorithm that you guys do like my videos. And also comment below on your thoughts on what you're doing. And until next time, guys, remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.